Thank you all very much for coming and joining us today. Really appreciate you all making the effort to get here. It's not always easy. It's been many years since we've been able to do this event in person, so delighted to have you all here with us. A couple of pieces of housekeeping to get through, first of all. So I'm Matt Whitton. I'm the Exec VP of Grey Matter and Cloud Know-How. Hope to get to speak to as many of you as is possible today. There is filming and photography going on, so please, smile. It will look really good in the photos if that comes out. But also, for any reason you're not supposed to be here, if you let somebody on the Grey Matter booth know, then they can make sure that they don't get put out. But the guys doing the photography, they're really nice. So yeah, if they ask you for a chat, have good speak with them. So we have, where are the tracks? So hopefully you can read. So we've got data that's going to be in this half of the room when the room splits after this first session. We've got infrastructure in this half. Hopefully you know where you're going to be. And we have developer upstairs, which is just around the stairs to your right on the first floor in Memphis. You can't miss it. It'll be right in front of you. At lunchtime as well, just want to point out we've got the Partner Pledge Roundtable between 1 and 2. That's going to be on the next floor up in, what's the room called? Jupiter. So yeah, as you'd expect, going up that high. We've got some people from Microsoft along there. It'd be great to have you there to really understand a bit more about the Partner Pledge, why we're a part of it, and how you can sign up for it and what it could mean to your business. Really want to encourage you to visit all of the stands, but if you can go at the Grey Matter stand that's out there. We've got lots of, anybody from Grey Matter here, just sort of wave your hands. There we go. Do that. And Cloud Know-How as well. Can't, we want to woo? There we go. Oh, come on, guys. That's so you can spot the Cloud Know-How got the really brainy ones are in the blue shirts, right? And the really friendly ones as well are in the black shirts that you should be able to see. Please make the most of them being here today. It's not always easy to get hold of them and speak with them face to face. So yeah, as I say, make the most of everybody being here. If a fire alarm does go off, please straight out these doors on your right. You'll see me running probably first of all, but yeah, you know the way to go. There are no planned alarms to go off, so if you hear one, please do leave. And if you want to book meetings with anybody today, you can follow that URL. It should open up a bookings page, so you can book a meeting with any of the team that aren't presenting at that time. So, as I say, really delighted to have you all here today. We've worked with ISVs for 40 years as a business. I've been with the business 22 years. Why do we love working with you? You solve problems. You're there helping businesses improve. You're helping them scale, get into new markets. And we're here to support by providing the platforms, by providing the support. And it's you guys that are doing the really clever stuff. So we want to help you do what you do best. And we've had feedback over the years that maybe we've said, hey, what help do you need? How can we help you? But you don't know what to ask for. So to counteract that, we've put together the ISV Partner Program, which I've got lots of slides on now, but because of time, I'm not going to go through in too much detail. But as I said, please grab anybody from Grey Matter or Cloud Know-How. They'd be delighted to talk you through it today. We are an Azure specialist for ISV, only one of 3 in the UK. So that's where Microsoft has shown their support of Grey Matter and Cloud Know-How and how we work with ISVs. That does mean that we have the opportunity to access resources and funding and different things. So again, speak to the guys about how we can help you with that. So I won't make them shout again or be too embarrassed, but whether it's onboarding, you're just starting to work with Microsoft, Azure, CSP, whatever you're doing, maybe you're just moving across to working with Grey Matter as your provider, we need to really understand what you do as a business so we can help support you in the best way. People like Gina here are there to support you with workshops, to understand what you do and position the solutions that Microsoft, Cloud Know-How and Grey Matter offer. On top of that, we've got a great account management team to support you with the day-to-day. As we've said, lots of them here today, whether that be account reviews, engagement, get access to the specialists that we've got in the teams, whether that be security, DevOps, whatever it may be. Mapping as well, guys at the back. Then subscription management. So it's the boring bit about tech, right? Is making sure that you're compliant, making sure that, it's easy to get your subscriptions managed in the right way. So we've got a licensing help desk to support with that. It's kind of our bread and butter. We should be the experts. Make sure you're asking us the right questions. We've got the GM Cirrus Marketplace as well, so you can go there and automatically provision your subscriptions, manage your customers as you would expect. And then there's optimization tools as well for both Azure and M365. On top of that, getting into the really clever stuff, we've got the Cloud Now guys like Mark and Stuart on the screen. Stuart will be running the first session on this side of the room around IoT after the first break. They're able to run cloud discovery sessions to really understand what you do as a business, all the way through to designing your Azure infrastructure and helping you adopt those Microsoft Cloud services. Apologies, I'm speaking really quick, but as I said, we've got loads to get through today. We've then got the technical support to back that up. So people like Matt Hockin here runs the team. They're able to run Azure monitoring services, run health checks on your infrastructure to make sure that it's running in the right way, hopefully saving you money, keeping you secure. And then there's enablement as well. Don't worry, I'm nearly there. So off the back of that, we've got training. We've got people like Fastlane here today. So Grey Matter are subsidising a number of courses in November. So please speak to those guys about that. If you're looking to get your teams enabled, make sure that they're as productive as they can be for you. Get those training plans in place to retain staff as well, which is an important thing at the moment, as well as the many webinars, workshops, etc. that we offer. And the last slide from this piece is go-to-market, really hot topic. Steve's going to be speaking about this in a minute when it comes to marketplace and how Microsoft have the scale there. We're here to help you access those marketplaces, whether that be the Microsoft ones, the Grey Matter group of companies. We're part of the Climb Global Solutions, so we're able to access markets like the US if you've got IP that you're looking to sell into those regions. And I just want to then thank our sponsors for today, many of who you will see outside of this room. Please go and visit their stands. We've chosen these guys to work with because they've got solutions that complement the Microsoft stack. They complement the Cloud Know-how services there as well. They're a really good bunch of guys. They wouldn't be here else. So yeah, please make sure that you go and spend some time with them. So that's it from me. I hope to speak to as many of you as possible over the rest of the day. But now I'm delighted to introduce Steve Jarvis, who heads up the Microsoft ISV team, up to the stage, who's going to talk to you about partnering with Microsoft. So thank you very much, Steve.
Good morning. Can you hear me okay? Brilliant. Excellent. Well, good morning. Thanks for the intro, Matt. Matt gave me the brief this morning of exciting the audience. Make sure you excite the audience. So no pressure there, Matt. Thanks very much. In fact, genuinely super thrilled to be here this morning. The last time I actually got the opportunity to present on this stage was pre-pandemic, actually, so maybe 2-3 years ago. So great to be back here in person, seeing all these wonderful fresh faces. A lot has changed in 3 years. Actually, I've had a 2-year-old daughter now, so yeah, so great to be back here today. And out of interest, just out of curiosity, how many people have not been to the campus since pre-pandemic? Wow, that's a lot, more than I expected. How many people have been here in the last couple of months? Okay, and how many people is it the first time to the campus? Wow, I'm sure there's more hands than, but anyway, okay. So, well, great mix. Welcome everybody. Good morning. Great to have you all here. So, my name's Steve Jarvis. I'm currently the interim manager for the UK ISV Strategic Recruit team. Bit of a mouthful, but basically we've got 8 partner development managers in that team. The responsibilities, or our roles really, are to help onboard, recruit new ISVs into the Microsoft partner ecosystem. So we sort of divide our time between industry ISVs, so retail, healthcare, financial services, plus other industries. We also do recruit around Microsoft Teams and Dynamics, plus horizontal solutions and tech enablers as well. So quite a breadth of partners, ISVs that we kind of work with there. I haven't got long today. Then we need to finish by 10 o'clock, so I'll do my best to finish by then. So the plan today is to kind of give you headlines just in terms of where Microsoft is making investments around ISVs, and to talk a little bit around our future ambitions and just how critical you guys are in helping us to achieve those goals as we move forward. So I'm sure you've all seen a similar slide to this one, but I think Satya sums it up well. We will always be a partner-led organisation, and I'm sure that'll be true. Will always be true as we sort of move forward. In fact, at the moment, we work with 32,000 partners alone in the UK across a breadth of different types of partner types. So our startup community, we work with our digital natives or cloud-first partners, as I guess you would call them, through to partners that are Series C funding or earlier, that have got some investment from a private equity company or maybe a venture capitalist. More broadly, the other partners that we work with are our global systems integrators, our advisory businesses, our regional and local systems integrators, plus our wonderful scale partners, likes of Grey Matter here today. And more recently, what we're seeing is a surge or a trend from our customers in particular who are looking, well, we term it sort of customer as a partner. So they've either built IP for in-house purposes and want to take that IP out to the market and are looking for some assistance to help us to do that with them. In addition, we also focus on co-innovation. So actually we're co-innovating with some of our customers like FedEx and Walmart as a couple of examples. But for the purposes of today's session, this is where I want to focus. This is my home territory as well as ISVs. Now, just to give you a sense of where we are in terms of ISV investment, when I started in the role that I'm in now, 5 years ago, back in 2017, we had roughly between 5 to 10 people in that team. 5 years later, that team is almost touching on 30 people. So significant kind of growth in that area. And that's in just the UK business alone, and that's been replicated worldwide. Significant market opportunity for us at the moment. I'm sure you're all aware of this. So $7.1 trillion invested into digital transformation projects alone, and even with the economic challenges that we currently face and the headwinds, that still remains true for various different kind of reasons. We're still seeing accelerated growth in terms of public cloud services. So the market is expected to reach $505 billion by the end of 2023. Microsoft Partner-led, mentioned this earlier, but for every dollar that Microsoft generate, we hope that the partner ecosystem generates roughly around $10. And then ISVs are absolutely critical to unlocking this market opportunity that we kind of have collectively in front of us. So it's estimated by the end of next year that ISVs will actually influence almost $270 billion of that cloud software market. So some significant opportunity for us both there. Still huge demand for cloud services for sure. I mentioned earlier, obviously $505 billion by the end of 2023. But interestingly, that then doubles over the next 3 years. So by the end of 2026, we're looking at around $1 trillion worth of market opportunity for cloud services. But what's more important for the conversation today is whilst we're seeing significant growth and demand for cloud services, that in parallel, we're seeing a significant increase in demand from our customer base to adopt and implement SaaS-based solutions, right? Which is where you guys are going to come in. For a variety of reasons, I'm sure you're having these with your customers every day. They want to become more agile. They want to respond to their customer requests or the climate or changing conditions in an accelerated fashion. So again, loads of opportunity for us both there. We feel well positioned in terms of where we are with the Microsoft Cloud, consisting of Dynamics 365, Microsoft 365, and Azure. We feel that we're in a good position to respond to our customers' requests for our first-party solutions. But most importantly is obviously we're delivering these building blocks for you as ISVs to go and create the awesome solutions that Matt mentioned earlier so we can go to market in collaboration together. For those that haven't seen, because there are quite a few people that by the sounds of it haven't come to this presentation for a while, we've got some great stats actually. A lot of this has come out the back of the post-pandemic. So for almost 260 million active users of Microsoft 365 now, 275 million daily users of Microsoft Teams. I think that's even more now. I think it's actually surpassed 300 million. Our GitHub community is almost now 75 million in strength, and almost all of the FTSE 100 and Fortune 500 are now using Azure in some capacity. So lots of good momentum there. So Satya summed this up quite well. When done right, partnering grows the pie for everybody. For customers, yes, but also for each of the partners. And that's kind of what we're here. That's the purposes of today's session, really. Ultimately, how can Microsoft and our partner ecosystem come together to tackle some of the challenges for our mutual customer base? So just want to touch on some of the programs that we've made available to help you guys get going across the Microsoft Cloud. So if you're a startup, Series C or earlier, just in terms of your funding round, we have something called Microsoft for Startups Founders Hub, which consists of a number of different benefits. We give some mentorship in terms of from some of our business leaders and our technical specialists to kind of help you with that journey. We provide some free credits for you to kind of offset some of those costs as you look to launch your capabilities to the cloud. And we also give free access to some of our development and productivity tools like GitHub and Microsoft 365. Running in parallel to that, for everybody else, I guess, is what we call the ISV Success Program. And this was a program that was launched at the back end of our last financial year in Q4 in private preview. I believe it's still in private preview, actually, but will be coming out of private preview shortly. But everybody in this room has access to this if this is of interest to you. So the Success Program, similar to the Founders Hub in some respects, in that we give some cloud credits to get you going on the cloud. We give you access to, I think it's 25 users of GitHub, 25 users for Visual Studio, enterprise licenses as well. So part of our sort of developer tools you're going to get access to. And then also some technical advisory from some of our technical specialists, helping with architecture design and review workshops. What I'll do at the end of this session, I'll make sure that all the links are available to you so you can navigate to them and take advantage of these programs if they're of interest. So once we've sort of got the product, built the product that we want to take to market, we've got to now kind of consider the dynamics that are happening, the shift in dynamics that are happening across our customer base. There was a really interesting survey that was done last year. I don't know if you've seen this or not, but they interviewed 1,000 people, and out of those 1,000 people, 43% of B2B buyers came back and said they'd prefer a purely digital experience for all sales. So effectively a sales-free, a rep-free experience is kind of what they're alluding to there. And if you break that down further to just millennials, that number actually increases to 54%. So think about that. So 1 in every 2 millennial would prefer an experience to buy some sort of solution without any sales rep engagement at all. So definitely something to consider. So what we're seeing is customer buying patterns are definitely changing, so their needs are changing as well. Gartner predict that 80% of sales transactions will take place through digital channels by 2025. And so the partner ecosystem is also changing to cater for those requirements. So Forrester estimate that by 2030, 1/3 of all business transactions will go through Marketplace. So this kind of gives you just a sense of the trajectory of where we're heading in the future, or at least what we've got to cater for. So we just need to be cognizant that this is happening. The emergence of SaaS in enterprise customers, I mentioned the surge in adoption from our enterprise customers for SaaS-based solutions, means that they're having to implement more stringent governance to manage these SaaS solutions, and something that Matt called out in his opening keynote as well. So we have the Microsoft commercial marketplace. We're seeing great growth here at the moment. So we've got 4 million plus monthly active users. So navigating, going to the commercial marketplace to have a look. We've actually got over 30,000 apps and services already published in there. We're seeing significant growth in terms of the amount of SaaS solutions that have been published through the commercial marketplace. And importantly, we're also seeing 288% year-on-year growth in terms of SaaS sales through the marketplace, which kind of gives you a sense that this is certainly heading in the right direction. Worth knowing that for FY23, most of Microsoft's programs, the incentives, resources, and rewards are really based around, or focused, should I say, around Marketplace. So again, just something to be considerate of, because this is where a lot of our programs and investments have been made. And we're seeing great success already. So here's a few examples. Matillion published their solution onto the marketplace, got almost 450 net new customers since doing that. Call to Teams did the same thing. Over a 12-month period, they had 603 net new customers. And Shook IoT, which is a really interesting story. These guys were a startup. They landed a Fortune 50 client through the commercial marketplace. And they did this when they only had 6 members in their team. They've since grown and been acquired. But great example of how the commercial marketplace helped them to connect with a customer that otherwise would have been very difficult to connect with. And then obviously lots of new partners joining onto the commercial marketplace. So to sort of summarize where we are with the commercial marketplace at the moment and the vision we have for it moving forward, We want it to be the customer's prime destination to find the solutions that they need to help with the challenges that they have. The ability to try or trial those solutions to see if they're fit for purpose. So you can set up a trial environment when somebody accesses and wants to consider looking or buying your solution. And then we want to allow them to buy through the commercial marketplace as well. So have that frictionless experience through procurement. The commercial marketplace includes lots of different partner types. So ISVs, SaaS-based solutions. We have services partners in there with consultancy engagements and also IoT devices partners. We want to make sure that the offers are transactable, so we take it from off the shelf to start landing some of these strategic enterprise deals. We want to surface the information up and the solutions up to lots of different channels. So, for example, we have a web storefront that our customers can navigate to. In some instances, they can actually buy these solutions via in product, so they can see the solutions in product. We want to do it directly with the Microsoft sellers, so we have a co-sell program in place. And of course, we want to leverage our partners and the likes of Grey Matter to assist with this too. We also want to make sure that they can buy it in whichever way they want to. So whether or not it's pay-as-you-go, invoice, or something that we call a MAC decrement. So this is a Microsoft Azure Consumption Commitment Agreement. It's a MAC agreement is something that our customers typically buy from Microsoft, and it's a commitment to the amount of cloud spend over a 3-year period. What's interesting though is they can now leverage that Microsoft agreement, the MAC agreement that they bought, to actually buy third-party solutions via the commercial marketplace. So a lot of our enterprise customers are now factoring in which solutions they're going to buy from the store when they sign this MAC agreement directly with Microsoft. And for any Microsoft Cloud product as well. So we have solutions in there across Azure, BizApps, Teams, and O365. So the commercial marketplace, if you like, has become this sort of new partner operating model. It's the way in which we're trying to connect our partners more readily or more easily with our customers. And so we kind of think about it as this journey where you're going to build your solution, publish it, then try and engage with a customer base. And look, we're connected with almost 1 billion customers around the globe. We've got 90,000 partners that can help us get to those customers, and then we've got 15,000 direct sellers engaging with our customer base as well. And then we want to make sure our customers can easily purchase, deploy, so a frictionless automated deployment mechanism in place, and then hopefully advocate on your behalf as well, give you good ratings, etc. The marketplace allows you to sell in over 140 geographies. We take ownership of the tax implications for over 52 of those countries currently. And the agency fees, so the fee to sell through marketplace, which was, I think, 20% last year, has actually been reduced right down to 3%, hopefully making it more feasible for you to leverage this as a channel. So I mentioned the ISV Success Program earlier. I do want to touch on 2 other ones, though, which I think are important. Marketplace rewards. So as you grow your business through marketplace, i.e. you land more build sales through the commercial marketplace, we actually give you rewards back. So for just publishing a solution to the marketplace, we actually help with the partner success story. And then I think it's a partner success story. And another benefit, I'm really sorry I can't remember it at the moment. And as you grow your usage through the marketplace, we actually start to give you more rewards. So for example, social promotional spotlight within the commercial marketplace, and actually Azure credits plus a lot more things there too. In addition to marketplace rewards, and again I'll share these so you can kind of see you have full sight of everything you get. In addition to the marketplace rewards, we also have a marketplace incentive currently happening. So if you publish a transactable solution to the marketplace at the moment, we give you $10,000 for doing that. And if you subsequently go on to drive more than $25,000 worth of build sales through the commercial marketplace, we give you another $10,000 at the moment as well. As I said, a lot of our programs and incentives are currently wrapped around the commercial marketplace. So just want to finish on one final point, and this is something that we just recently brought to the table called ISV Margin Pass-Through. So this is where you can effectively publish your solution to the Microsoft Marketplace, and you can expose that to the cloud solution provider channel, to the likes of Grey Matter. and then you can agree on setting a pricing strategy and potentially set different margins in terms of that pass-through to the CSP that you're going to be working with. Benefits for the ISV allows you to scale, allows you to more easily hit a customer base that might be challenging to currently service. From a CSP perspective, obviously they can expand their catalogue, they can have better conversations, more relevant conversations with their customer base because they have solutions available that are going to cater for their needs. So next steps. First off, sign up to become a Microsoft Partner if you've not already done so. You may be aware that the Microsoft Partner Network has recently transitioned to become the Cloud Partner Program. So that happened yesterday, was it? 3rd of October, so that happened yesterday. So the MPN no longer exists, it's now Cloud Partner Program. So sign up using this link here. Join the ISV LinkedIn group. This is where we share most of the information around a lot of what I've talked around today. So please join that group. And once you've joined that group, I'll publish some links on it, and then you can go and have a look at both the ISV Success Program, the Founders Hub, and I'll also add in a link to the Marketplace rewards as well. So, and of course, I've only literally scratched the surface here, so I've been super quick, and I'm sorry if I'm speaking quickly. I'm trying to finish before 10 o'clock, and it's 9:57, so I think I've done a pretty good job there. So please, 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 go and have a follow-up conversation with Grey Matter. They can expand on everything I've discussed today, actually bring this to life, and then help execute and hopefully successfully go to market in collaboration. Right, well, thank you. Hope that was useful. I'm going to try and be around at lunchtime, so if you want to explore any of this, anything I've kind of touched on today in a bit more detail, let me know. Otherwise, catch up with Matt and the team, and have an awesome day.
Thank you. So I am between you and leaving, but mine's one slide, so we're all good. I should be able to keep us on time. My name is Mark Deakin. I also work at Microsoft. I also haven't presented in here for 2 years, and I also have had a daughter in the last 2 years. I should clarify, it's not the same daughter, but there is something very similar there. We're obviously very bored when we're at home. So I work with a few partners, a very small number of partners, in fact 5. And out of those, the one that does ISV the most, really, for me, is Grey Matter. What they've asked me to do is to try and explain why you should work with Grey Matter, because it's easier coming from, or it's probably better coming from somebody that isn't Grey Matter themselves. And it was quite hard to think about how I would put this. So I've gone for something a little bit risky. There's less stuff there than is in my head, but I want to give you like the non-bullshit view of why you should really be working with them. And it's this simple maths, right? There are over 40,000, well, over 30,000, 40,000 partners. There's a load of partners in the UK that we work with. And actually, we have a really small team at Microsoft. As well as ISVs, there's the global system integrators, and then there's the service partners that Steve was talking about earlier on. We manage something like about 100 of those, that they have a me and a Charlie that works with them as well. And actually, in the ISV team, there's about 20 people. There's about, I think, 10, 12 partner technology strategists doing my role. And what you should get from that is actually there's lots of people to speak to, but a very small number of people at Microsoft that can speak to them. And so basically, if you try and interact with us directly all the time, you'll get I shouldn't say shit, so a suboptimal experience, right? If you try and work with us directly all of the time. And so we will always, as we said, we'll always be a partner-led organisation, and that's the best way for you to interact with Microsoft. And in some instances, as some of my partners say, not have to pay the Microsoft tax of, fill in this form, go do this thing, all of these sort of things that we'll ask you to do along the way. It gives us the ability to scale and to speak to the right sort of partners at the right time, but not bother them with all the other stuff the rest of the time. They have a very unique set of skills, GM. That's a fact. I've been in partner for quite a long time, and literally when you mention ISV, GM is the next kind of people that come up. I realised when I did a unique set of skills, in my head came Liam Neeson, I think it is, isn't it, from the film. But they do have a very unique set of skills and a specific partner program. So a load of the other partners I speak to, especially the 5 that I have, they won't necessarily have such a focus on ISV and a program that they've built around it. So that's a key thing for you guys to kind of jump on that's not necessarily available from the others. And actually they have more people than we do sometimes that are able to look at ISV. So the thing you should get from this is, not that Microsoft doesn't want to speak to you, we do, but you probably don't want the faff that comes with it, to be honest, at times. So actually going through or working through GM, they'll then kind of get what they need from us, pass it back to you, and then you don't have to worry about all the other kind of gumph that comes with being a managed Microsoft partner. Probably shouldn't say that, but that's kind of the fact of it, right? And also, they have more personal experience of dealing with ISVs than some of the teams. So certainly for myself, ISV is something that I've done in the past, and I've had a few ISV-related jobs, but it's not something I do all the time. I'll be talking to people about Dynamics, Azure, Office 365, all that kind of stuff. These guys really know what they're doing when it comes to grey matter. So hopefully that, when it comes to ISVs, hopefully that gives you an idea of why you might use GM rather than coming to us directly. Steve's door is always open, but it is like a certain size door, so you won't be able to fit through all there at once, and use GM to the most to kind of get what you need, and then they'll come to us when they need some assistance from us. Hopefully that gives you a good idea. With that, I think we're finished now. I'm just going to pass over to Matt to tell you where you all need to go, as it were. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you very much, Mark. And because of the Microsoft bribes and ethics policy, right, we've been paid no money to say those kind of things. So thank you very much for doing that. Coffee will be outside in just a second. A couple of really quick things. Just want to thank you, Steve, for your time there. Thank you, Mark, for going through that. Loads of food for thought. We're going to cover off lots of things through today. There has been a slight agenda change on the infrastructure track. So 2 till 3, where there was going to be an Azure security session, that is now going to be a session on, correct me if I'm wrong with the exact words here, but the new Microsoft Partner Network changes and what that means for ISVs, delving into some of what Steve's just been talking about there, going into more details. You may want to look at what's available at that time and where you want to be. I just really want to, because it's the last time you'll hear from me today, unless we speak face-to-face out there, I just really want to thank Microsoft for hosting us today, providing such a great number of speakers, all the investment that goes into this. We couldn't do this on such scale without them. So thank you very much, guys. Give you a round of applause. And it'd be remiss of me not to mention the 2 people I'm looking at the back here, especially, but the whole marketing team, Alana, Chris, who's our Microsoft Alliance Manager. If you haven't spoken to him, grab some time with him today. He is a very clever man. For all the work that goes into putting this event together. So thank you very much. I know it's been a little bit stressful, but thank you, guys. Coffees, and I'm hoping some sort of Danish or something is available outside. We do need to clear out because they're going to split the room into 2 points at this. Make the most of the sessions. I hope you have a really enjoyable today, and thank you again for coming. Thanks, everybody.